Welcome to a continuation of the futuristic fantasy series Humanity's Evolution. Today I'm going to read Part 20. Gershom pulled away, and reality surged back with a vengeance. Loud murmurs of conversation floated all around us. This was hardly the time to be kissing. I felt my face reddening a little in embarrassment, which he found amusing. You've already stated how you are going to vote, so there is no need to join in the discussion anymore, he said, and then a serious look grew in his eyes. You have done all you can. I took a deep breath, hoping he was right. What snatches of I could hear of the discussions proved unenlightening. Michael then emerged into our midst with Holly. So, you have already made your decision, Michael said, his eyes alight with mischief. I gave him a wry smile, determined to patiently endure his teasing. I guess there was a first time for everything, I said. Michael nodded his head, a sober expression growing on his countenance. He then turned towards Holly. We have also made our decision, he said, as his partner nodded her head in agreement. I glanced toward the handsome man standing beside Michael. Holly's eyes gazed warmly at my friend. Can we assume you are voting in favor of the project? Gershom interjected. I glanced towards my companion. His bluntness irritated me. Neither of you have to answer him, I snapped, my eyes still staring right into Gershom's face. He refused to look at me until he finished saying, But if you want to, we would love to hear your opinion. The man then had the audacity to give me a playful grin. I shook my head, trying desperately to hide the grin breaking through on my own face. The man would either drive me insane or... The memory of our kiss flooded my senses. I need a moment to compose my conflicting emotions. I turned away from all of them to gaze at something else. The tree we created earlier caught my eye. Its dark trunk looked so shiny and smooth, a longing to touch it filled me. I walked over and gave in, surprised by the sensation in my fingertips. It felt smooth and rough, a perfect blending of the two. Gershom and myself, maybe? Then more movement caught my eye, and I saw the voting booths emerging. They were simple dark tents, with enough room for one little dragon to enter. They emerged out of thin air, just like the earlier banquet. I suddenly felt silly. Here we were on the verge of the next step in our evolution as a species, and I was consumed by the conflicting emotions of the heart. It was a new sensation for me. My relationship with Gershom hadn't been so complicated. We meshed well together. Gershom and I had a fair share of attraction, but it wasn't nearly as harmonious. Ezekiel then called for everyone's attention. It is time to vote, he said, gesturing towards the several dozen booths. I left the tree and entered the nearest line, determined to put all my energy and focus on the planet project. For now. That ends Part 20 of Humanity's Evolution. Next week, we will continue with our Storytime Adventures for Adults video series by reading another chapter in Songs from the Desk by Meg Swanson. To learn more about Humanity's Evolution and the Storytime Adventure for Adults video series, visit my website, www.reneeannhughes.com. If you'd like to contribute to this series, please feel free to become a patron on Patreon. Details for joining are on my website, and also please subscribe to this YouTube channel so you won't miss any new videos. Goodbye, and thanks for listening.